Hey guys, welcome back to No Recipe Required. Hope you're doing well. Tonight I'm going to show you how to do a potato gratin with blue cheese and spinach. Now if you think about it, I do potato gratins all the time. Think about some of those combos though. Potatoes, blue cheese, go super well together. Just think of like potato skins, stuff like that, right? There's a natural fit there, and then spinach, blue cheese as well. Things like Waldorf salad or chopped salad. Those frequently pair together really well as well. The key here, no recipe required. Take elements from different dishes, put them together. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get started on our potato gratin with blue cheese and spinach. What I've got here, I've got a few potatoes. I use these Yukon Gold or yellow potatoes. I like them. If you have russets, if you have red potatoes, you can use anything you want. And what I'm going to do, I peel them, and then I cut them into slices about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. And once I do this, you could do this a couple hours ahead of time. Once you get them sliced, you can just take them and put them into a bowl with water, and that'll keep them from discoloring. If you left them out in the air, they'll turn brown on you, which you don't want. Let's go ahead and start cooking our potato gratin with blue cheese and spinach. I'm going to start off with some cream here. This is a pint. I'm probably going to use 3/4 of it to start. And I'm going to cook off the potatoes in the cream a little bit. These are the potatoes I sliced before. I had kept them in water a couple hours. Great way to do things ahead of time. And then I'm just going to add those to my pot here. I'm also going to hit it with some pepper. Good amount of pepper. Potatoes especially can take a good amount of seasoning. Now I'm going to go maybe a little bit lighter on the salt than I normally would for a potato dish because blue cheese is really quite salty, and the cheese itself is going to lend quite a bit of salt to the dish. So for now, I'm just going to leave it where it is. The cream's a little bit light. I want it 3/4 covering the potatoes, and once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and do just a very, very light simmer for probably about 20 minutes to half an hour until the potatoes get nice and soft to the touch. When you stick a knife in there, it comes out smooth. Then we're going to add our cheese, we'll add our spinach, we'll finish it off in the oven. My potatoes now are just coming up to the boil, so I'm going to turn that down to a simmer. I'm going to put a lid on it just to make sure I create kind of a little bit of an oven in there, some steam. The evaporation will be slowed down so I don't scorch anything, and just let those potatoes cook on low, like I said, for about 20-30 minutes. Okay, my potatoes have been going now for about 20 minutes or so, but more important than the time is the doneness. It might be a little slower, might be a little faster for you. What you want to do is take your knife and dip it around in a few different places. Make sure you've got the doneness, right? Knife should go in easily, come out easily. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and add my little hunk of blue cheese here, and I'll break it up just to make it a little bit easier to melt in there. I like to melt, like I said, melt the blue cheese in. We're going to put it in, then we're going to stir it around. And I'd say the one thing to be cautious of, blue cheese, it's a powerful cheese. So to the extent you really overdo it, or you put in a ton, you could overwhelm the dish, I guess. If you love blue cheese, put in more. It's not really about an exact quantity. I'm going to go a little bit lighter here, and just have that blue cheese flavor, but not have it clearly be a punch in the face of blue cheese. Now, the other thing I'm noticing here as I stir it is it's still maybe a little bit more soupy than what I'd expect and what I'd want. So I'm going to actually keep it on the stove top and turn up the heat. And that's just going to help it boil a little bit quicker and evaporate some of that liquid. You definitely want some looseness in there, but this looks a little bit too much. I'm going to let it go down by maybe a fifth or so. And then I've also got some Gruyere here. I still like to chop even my blue cheese with the Gruyere. And then we'll put it in the oven. And we'll come back in a few minutes. So I almost forgot, we've got a blue cheese and spinach gratin here. So I've got to add in my spinach. I've got about a cup of baby spinach leaves here that I just chopped up. I like it because despite there being a little stem here, the stems on baby spinach are pretty small, pretty mild. So I'm going to add that spinach in there and just give it a little toss. It'll cook, cook down very quickly. And then once we've got everything reduced to the right level, we're going to add our Gruyere cheese to the top. We'll pop it in the oven at about 400 degrees, 375 to 475. Anywhere in there is going to be absolutely fine. And then we'll bake it off for probably 20 minutes until the top is nice and crusty and golden brown. Actually, I think we can go ahead and lay that on there right now and pop it in. Okay, after about half an hour in the oven, I've got a nice golden brown crust on our potato gratin with spinach and blue cheese. It's important to let this set for at least 5 to 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven. It's obviously, super hot, very liquidy, soupy right now, and you definitely want it to set a little bit. But once it does, it's absolutely delicious. I hope you make it soon, and I will see you next time on No Recipe Required.